until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations.
Right? Gather the nations. And why is the Most High going to gather the nations for? He's gathering the nations for that third world. See? Go ahead.
That I may assemble the kingdoms,
right,
to pour upon them mine indignation.
Ultimately, he's going to pour upon the indignation of the Lord, which is his fierce anger. All right? He's going to gather the nations only to destroy them again. Only to gather them for what? To gather them up, to cart them off to slavery. See? Because that's what the Most High ultimately wants, right? Go ahead.
Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For
which is going to come via those ICBM missiles. All right? The Most High allowed those missiles to be created for them to be used. Right? Because that's going to be the measurement of his anger towards all the nations for what they did against the nation of Israel.
I'm going to drop down to verse 12.
Right.
I will also leave thee in the midst of thee, and afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments, he hath cast out thine enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil anymore. And we're not going to see evil anymore, man, when Yahawashi comes back, man, because Yahawashi is coming back to establish what? Okay? Righteousness on earth, man. Evil is going to be done away with. Evil is going to come to an end, okay? Esau, Edom's rulership is coming to an end, man. And the remnant of Israel are going to sing. We're going to rejoice, Lord willing, we're of the hopeful elect, man. Okay? We're not going to see evil out here anymore, okay? There's not going to be no wickedness taking place on earth, man, okay? The elder brought up the precept earlier. All nations are going to flow onto Israel. Okay, we're going to be that top mountain, that top government. Okay, beginning with Yahawashi on down, Lord willing, real soon, man. This is what we should be hoping for, man. This should be motivation. This is exhortation. Okay, this is motivation, man. This really, this is a faith booster, man. This should motivate us to keep on fighting. Right? That good fight of faith, man, because that's what's going to deliver the elect.
Right. Spirit of today is,
I was with the spirit. I was about to introduce you, brother.
We got the other Jersey brothers here.
Yeah, Jersey up in here.
Jersey brothers. And we're going in the spirit today of exhorting the nation of Israel, exhorting them to go on the sign. So far, Negro Latinos and Native Americans, because ultimately the gospel, which is called the good news, the message is what? That we are the chosen, and the Most High is going to deliver us from our enemies, man. That's one of the main messages. And the message also consists of, like we started off with, Isaiah 58:1. It involves a lot of correction, but it also involves exhortation.
Isaiah 52. Wait.
Yeah.
Put on that beautiful rock.
Right. Yeah. We read that earlier. And if your brother got precepts, there you go. Step in.
I got one.
Get up in there. Go ahead.
Cooke chapter 4. This is Cooke chapter 4 and 10. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High. They knew not his statutes, nor walked in his ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline and his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting have brought upon them. You know, so the Most High is a root. You know, it's a beautiful chapter because the Lord really gets into and giving you understanding why we went into captivity, man, and how he tells us that he's going to deliver us from this place. Because we're living in hell, man. You know, this is not living, man. We're just going through the motions. We're hoping that the Lord end this shit, man. You know, we're praying for a few days onto this place.
You can't tell Dick that. You're living it up there. You know, 2/3.
In the house of love.
Yeah, they love this shit, man. You know, so I'll just read it and continue. It says, for he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old men nor pity child.
Yeah, who would that be by default, man? You know what I mean? Who's a strange nation by far? I mean, all the nations are called strange, but Esau is really strange, man. Okay? To be part of the society, you got to be part of like a fraternity, sorority. I remember Elder Nas, he brought it to me, that movie with Matt Damon called Good Shepherd. Good Shepherd, right? Good Shepherd, right? Which is really about Daddy Bush, all right? And he went to Yale, didn't he? Yeah. Was it Yale College? Don't you know in Yale College, if you part of these sororities, the fraternities, you know, they do, you know, disgusting rituals, man. Or initiation, so to speak. You know, Kappa, Psi, Sigma, or Delta, or whatever, Omega. But the Yale, these top universities, which is, you know, programmed, or not programmed, delivered out there in your media to be the top colleges, prestige and knowledge, and oh, Yale, oh. But guess what they do? All right, to be part of this and excel, you know, they showed their movie, they were in a coffin, you know, butt naked together, sharing their well, I don't know if it showed that in that movie, but that's what they do, is to share their darkest secrets with each other. You know, butt naked in a coffin. Okay, they have other rituals. I think they did show in the movie that they were in, I don't know if they were naked or they couldn't go too graphic. But they were, you know, they were in a mud pit, whatever, and all these other, you know, other, let's say, members of the society, skulls and bones, I'll just say it, were pissing on them. Okay? And here I'm saying it, none of these people here, with you know, I'm saying on purpose, and these stupid zombies, you know, on their phone, trying not to listen. But these are your politicians that you vote for, pissing on each other when they went to college. All right? You talk about President Bush. Right? And so on and so forth. This is a strange nation that especially our people are serving here in America, and that what you aspire to be. You know, these people are fucking dead out here. Look at these stupid zombies.
They're gonna be eating bugs.
Yeah, and they're gonna like it too. The leader, what's his name? Something Schwab? Carl. He wasn't really lying. He said you're gonna eat bugs and love it. Well, depending on these stupid idiots out here, it looks like that. I mean, they sure love McDonald's. And what is McDonald's? I'm not even gonna get started on that. You sure love taking these jump shots, vaccines. So, you know, when I really think about it right now as we speak, you know, they're gonna love it, man. But anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna comment.
Yeah, you got it.
There was a video that just came out, I saw it yesterday, and they actually showed you the virus and lava ones to make, and then they went into the restaurant, and there was a woman reviewing the bug burger based on lava ones. And she was like, yeah, I would recommend it to my friend. You know? So they literally, and then the guy he's on the farm, in the lab, you know, and he has the lava ones, he pulls them out, puts his hand into them, you see them moving around, like they're nesting them so that they can feed, so they can feed them.
You know, it's real quick, like how you're talking about the, you know, them doing the rituals and all that stuff, like for the Grammys. I didn't see it, but I seen some of the clips or whatever. They had one person like dressed up, like the devil with his devil horns and all, doing Satan on his face.
Sam.
Sam something. Yeah. And then it was showing there was another scene to where it was this woman, she was playing the drum. Other people like putting her fingers down her throat to throw up on her chest. You You know what I mean? Like all type of rituals and shit, like all those days.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta check it out. Other was telling me about it. I seen the coverage, but they were saying it was like deliberately satanic. You know, like you can't cover it. You know what I mean? They covered it. Shows you what these these elites are into, man. You know, like this pissing on each other, and coughing and other stuff you don't even know about. Shitting on each other, man. This is a vile nation. Back to the point of the scripture, it's a strange nation. Okay?
It says, Baruch 4:14, let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought upon them. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language.
Yeah, the shameless nation really represents, basically, if you go to the scriptures, I think of Corinth, Daniel's, I forget where it's confusion in faces. If you go into the confusion in faces, it represents basically like a massive shame. Really, a nation of Israel being ashamed of their sin, you know. But, you know, a shameless nation itself is talking about Edom, Esau, at the top, because they don't give a damn about any truth or any of virtues of true virtue. You know, they're a shameless nation. They don't give a damn, man. You got certain mayors out here who come out here with no problem and look you straight in the face and wear in leggings in high heels. I'm thinking about that mayor. What's that mayor or governor? Governor. What's the big-headed name? Governor J. Used to be governor in New York. Giuliani was governor and mayor. He was a mayor. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mayor Giuliani. You already know about him.
That's up there. Drag.
Yeah, drag, balance, and roll, and all that kind of stuff.
Y'all seen John Cena? He had a mini skirt on?
I seen it. I seen it from now.
Big ass motherfucker.
Big ass, yeah. It's for his new movie, a comedy, but he's a big fool. And that's just a light example of their shame. But, you know, exalting homosexuality, that's the biggest one. Yeah. Okay, now, you know, trying to exalt, you know, the LGBT community, a part of their flag, they put the white color, the rainbow flag, and that white represents pedophilia. You know, which they try to change it to minor. I always get minor love affection or something. So they trying to switch to what it really is. It's really pedophilia, but they call it minor attractions, minor love attractions.
Normalize it.
Yeah, trying to normalize it. Yeah. That's without shame.
Sick.
Yeah, trying to say, oh, it's a sexual preference. That's without shame. And we can go on for days. What they did to the nation of Israel, right? Bringing the so-called blacks over in slavery and chains, and then holding themselves not guilty, what the scriptures say, and ultimately defaming the Most High and the Lord, right? Pushing that Jesus Christ, pushing that they look like white people with blue eyes, so on and so forth. Oh, excuse me. Satanic award shows. There's nothing wrong with that. Rituals. The School of Satan in Massachusetts. I can never say it right. Remember, I think they said this year they had the biggest satanic gathering. At the Satan, the Saints. The School of Satan in Massachusetts. It was the biggest gathering in all. Breaking records.
I don't know if y'all seen over in Alabama, Tuscaloosa County or something like that. At a high school, 200 students went out and they protested against like the administration because they had like some some shit for Black History Month or whatever. And pretty much the administrator was telling them in their presentation they can't talk nothing about slavery, can't talk about the Black Panthers, and you can't bring up the Civil Rights Movement. So the students walked out on them like, they trying to hide their disgrace, man, what they did to us, man. They do everything to try to hide away the dirt and the filth in which they did. So that's a part of our history. So basically what you're supposed to just start from the 1970s or 80s, like we just ended up on drugs and on welfare, like out of nowhere. Y'all was a part of all of this shit, man.
All them hanging pictures that happened in the 1950s. You would think it happened to slavery. I mean, hangers were right around the 50s, even in the 60s.
That's what's critical now. Right? There it is. They got the thing with the banner for 9/11. You never forget.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the oppression, people sign, oh no, let's forget that. Let's just start from the
Yeah.
hypocritical nation.
Or they lie. Oh, they actually came here to get a job. Like Kanye was pushing. Slaves came here to get a job, actually. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what you want.
Huh? Nah, it's a black. One of them. Carson, what's that dude? Ben Carson. He started that shit.
Oh, that.
Yeah, he started that shit saying that the Jake, the so-called blacks who came here from slavery, they came here for employment. Yeah, some bullshit. You know? But it wasn't right.
Yeah, back in Baruch chapter 4 and 15. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man, neither pity child.
Yeah, so that was a major point. Like the major thing when you know, I guess for all of us when we got into the Gator Bait situation, you know. When you go into Gator Bait, I was bringing it up because it resonates that, you know, they were killing, you know, they were, again, strapping up Israelite babies, or so-called black babies in slavery, alive, and strapping them up to a stick, alive, and feeding them to alligators. And not only that, they were taking those, it was sent off as a catalog, or is that the word? Not a catalog, but a postcard, an advertisement, to send to other people if that was their, you know, like today, like a commercial business.
Yeah, it was like also coffee mugs. It was this trophy. You know, one guy I remember on YouTube, black guy, Israelite. He actually had all of the antiques, like the back then. He had the mug, everything that they were selling back then. He had it in the store. He had a store. Yeah, he had it in the store, and he was just showing you and breaking down the history. Yeah, I remember that video.
So that goes back to the old and young. I didn't check it out yet. My brother was telling me about the movie with Will Smith. He was playing that slave. I think there was actually, yeah,
Emancipation or something?
yeah.
Levite.
There was a Levite that was saying too, right? He was a Levite. And that's another example. That guy was old. That classic picture where that dude, he shows his back, the velvet stripes. That's what Will Smith was playing that kind of thing.
And he was always speaking about the Lord, the scriptures.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, see? Yeah, so
He had faith.
yeah. So that goes back to that scripture, the old and young. What other nation on the planet Earth does not call old and young, even to this day? You know what I mean? It's Esau, right? You know?
It says, verse 16, they have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I have put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and the hand of the enemy.
Yeah, that's the power, man. Because at the end of the day, who's bringing all these atrocities and all these wicked things onto us? At the end of the day, it's Yahawah BaHaSham. And he's done this for his purpose, for him to bring us, for us to come back to him, to put us through punishments, to cry back unto him. No different from a father when he punishes his children. You know, he's trying to bake his children to one day, all right, Daddy, we're sorry, please. Lift up our grounding, please, we're sorry. I'm sorry, Dad. I repent, so to speak. The same thing with Heavenly Father. He's punished us to bring us down to our knees. And the only one that's going to really repent and cry unto the Lord is the elect, or the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, to break us away from our enemies, to deliver us from our enemies.
So Hebrews 12, and I'll start at verse 6, it says, For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, Yahawah dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Something they mentioned. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So that bastard ultimately is Esau. He don't get to partake in all of this, man. They go in the world unpunished doing all of their wicked deeds. But you already know all of their enemies. The Most High's going to build all of this up, build everything up, to throw it on top of his head, man. Verse 9 it says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be subjected unto the Father of the earth and live? So this how the brothers getting into what we have parents who, and they chastise us for their sake, but the Heavenly Father, He's doing it for our sake, for the benefit of our salvation, so we can actually see and know what's actually going on around us. Because the rest of the world is walking around here dumb, deaf, and blind to what's really going on behind the scenes of everything, man. You know, because the America puts up this big charade to make everybody think, oh yeah, this is the land of the free, home of the brave, and all this old bullshit, when they doing smoke screen shit behind the scenes, and they shooting it up, you know?
Like, this place is a highly satanic place, contrary to everything that the Most High stands for. Man, if you want a country to represent that, it's America. They represent everything opposite. That's why the Most High is going to allow this place, America, to be taken out in the fashion that it is supposed to. By way of that. It's like in the Bible dictionary, it tells you Edom is the place of great punishment. Right? There's going to be a place that's going to be, actually, you could call America is going to be likened onto a monument. Right?
Well, yeah.
Right? Because there's, you know, and I always say this, you know, the slaves in the kingdom, all they got to do is look to the west and see the smoke arising from Babylon.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a remembrance of this is what happens when you come against a lost people.
It's going to be smoking for a minute.
Yeah.
Look, first 100, 200 years.
Look what happened with two buildings fell.
Yeah.
Two buildings fell. It was smoke rising for weeks, man. Yeah. Imagine a whole country.
There's two buildings.
We seen that in Jersey.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
They let us go early. And you look outside, you look up, all that smoke.
Smoke, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy, man. That's heavy, brother. Like you said, only two buildings. And that was lasting around for a good, you know, maybe like a month. Under 3 weeks, you know. So again, if you think about it, and shit, we already know how this place going on. 200 million missiles.
Remember, you got
Lake of Fire.
You got nuclear plants here.
Oh yeah.
Right? You got the geysers, you got volcanoes and all that. What's that?
The Magic Park. They got a volcano. Excuse me, the Mossad got a volcano waiting there to explode. And they said when that releases, that can take off. I mean, we could look if we want, but I think a third part of the country, man. That's how powerful that volcano is, man. So, damn, you just said once it's wow. I didn't wow.
Get Revelation 14. Get Revelation 14.
Yeah, wow. I just thought about that. So yeah, when the missiles hit that thing, man, that's like throwing a bomb at a gas station. You know, throwing a grenade at a gas station.
Literally adding more fuel to the fire.
Right, yeah. You could throw a Molotov cocktail at acid. That shit, you could throw it at a wall, a Molotov cocktail wall. It was really make a little fire. You throw a Molotov cocktail at a gas station, that's just gonna blah, 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 right? Same thing like America, man. You throw all the missiles at America, and missiles are gonna, it's gonna be the volcanoes and all that nuclear plants is gonna make it. That's why it says a lake of fire. Like if you were able to swim, it'll be, the flame is gonna be so high.
Yeah. That's what you can make a challenge. Yeah.
Come on now.
It's Isaiah chapter 24 and 20. The earth shall rail to and fro like a trumpet, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
Right, it says that's talking about America, aka Babylon. It said it shall fall and not rise again. And it said there's going to be so many missiles and so many explosions, the earth is going to rock to and fro, man. Like what? Like a trumpet, man. We see drunkards walking around up the street every day. How do they walk? Do they walk in a straight line? Hell, that's why when you get pulled over and you take that test that the police give you. They say to walk in a straight line because it's not possible to walk in that straight line. Yeah, so that's how America views you. Because when you're drunk, you're going to be like this. And that's how the earth is going to be. It's going to be rocking to and fro.
Even before the breathalyzer, they do the walk test first. Yeah, just to back up what the elder was saying, that the first thing they do, they get the breathalyzer, but they do the line walk test first. You know, just to that's the first judgment to see if you're impaired or not. Because some of you be drunk and talk kind of well and kind of play it off, but then once they say get at the car and start walking, it's game over, man. You ain't walking straight.
The Lord is bringing great devastation. Great devastation. That's why it's like the scriptures say, said, it shall scarcely be seen.
Yeah.
You know, that word scarcely means almost not.
Yeah, almost, that's the righteous too.
Because they're going to be taken up.
Yeah.
That's the only way to be saved. If you want to sort of Babylon,
Yeah.
the only way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got something. The book of Isaiah chapter 34, I start at verse 1. It says, come near ye nations and to hear, and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it.
And that's what the prophets are doing right now, right? We're proclaiming to the world on YouTube and people that walk by what's to come, man. Right? We're telling the world through the spirit of Yahawashi that death, pain is coming to America. And not only America, but throughout the whole world. What we're proclaiming is the return of the Lord, man. The Lord is about to return. And all these things are about to happen. It's about to be total chaos out there. Right? Go ahead.
It says, verse 2, for the indignation of Yahawah is upon all nations.
The anger, the righteous anger of the Yahawashi, you are about to taste that, man. Right? You're about to witness that. The righteous anger of the Lord, right? Read that again.
It says,
indignation.
For the indignation of Yahawah is upon all nations.
Upon all nations, man. Go ahead.
And his fury upon all their armies.
Right. And the Most High is angry, man. And you are about to bear witness of the anger of the Lord. All right? Upon all nations. Right? Go ahead.
It says, he hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. That their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
Right.
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
Right. Now, this is the future prophecy. It's going into the destruction that the Most High is getting ready to set here on this earth, man. The Most High is getting ready to destroy. You see? But when he destroys, he's doing it for a purpose, because the Most High is getting rid of all our enemies for us, man. One fell swoop, man. He's gonna make sure. Oh, what happened when King Solomon became ruler? The first thing he did, or the first thing that was done, the Most High got rid of all of his enemies. That's how it was peace, man.
David laid down the foundation for the kingdom.
Right. Like, he had no enemies to worry about.
Yeah. David cleaned it up.
The Most High is doing the same thing. The Most High is getting rid of all the top nations that are existing today. The Most High is he's going to get rid of them. Right? Go ahead. You see? That's beautiful, man.
So you can't have peace without war.
Come on, man.
You gotta have it first.
Yeah, that's right.
And look at us, we at the bottom.
Yeah.
We need a savior. We don't have nothing. No army, no money. You don't even own yourself. You know, that's the thing that's
Man, we gotta do something about it. We gotta stand up. Oh, police brutality and all this whole. Man, we gotta forget all the religion and all that stuff and just stick together. Nigga, like, you gotta have a basis of foundation, man. If you don't have a basis of foundation, you don't have nothing. Because you're going to have this person thinking this way, this person thinking this way. Everybody going to want to be a goddamn chief. and nobody's going to want to fall in line. This is why the scriptures is the perfect foundation, because it gives you everything, man.
Like Yahawashi mentioned in John 10 and 10, he said, he cometh not but to steal and to kill and destroy. But he said, I am come to give life more abundantly. We don't have no resources. There's nothing we have.
And they make sure of that.
Yep.
They make sure that we rise. Because there's been plenty of times in history that Jake could have established himself. But according to prophecy, the Lord, the power of the Lord used Esau to end certain things. And it's not just one. Black Wall Street, Rosewood, certain, we're talking about 50, 60 situations that Jake was flourishing. A few years ago, I looked into something called, not only like Central Park, remember Central Park used to be, I forget what it's called? Seneca Village. Yeah, Seneca. Oh, shit. Seneca Village. Turn around. Turn around, brother. Seneca Village, man. Jake was rolling over here, man. Seneca Village, it's buried over basically under the ground here is a bunch of buried slaves. Or not buried slaves, buried Jake.
Yeah. Okay. It was black. I think guy was here.
Okay. Another thing that hit me, I learned it a few years ago actually, was there's like 90 plus lakes in America. Like basically every lake that you can kind of think of where it used to be Jake Logan. And if you go to these lakes, you see like little houses, the cemeteries, shit like that. But what they did, they slaughtered those people. And a lot of them, like basically Black Wall Street, there's more stories, but it's never been put out. So there's more that happened. That hasn't never, it's not even been documented because they're hiding it. So they killed those people, slaughtered them, and made a lake over.
Especially down south too, and like one other big place that was big before Black Wall Street was down there in, I believe it was like Charleston, South Carolina. Like they had their own like bus lines, rails, and all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even if Jake was to try to do something in today's time, Esau going to label you a gang, try to lock you up, pass some new type of laws or something to that effect. Exactly. Or when it comes to the power, they can shut off because they still control every goddamn thing. So you can try to set up your own shit if you want. They still control the power or the water. You got to get regulations and everything through them any goddamn way, man. You know what I mean? It's just like it's these I forget this guy what it's called. It's like an NFL combine type of thing, but it's some black dudes that run it and they like got a big following on Instagram. And they trying to do things with upcoming athletes, but the NFL is blocking them from doing it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how it go, man. Like you know what I mean? Anything you trying to do.
That's part of the curses in Deuteronomy. We shall go to the enemy for the want of all things. For food, for shelter, when you want a loan, whatever you want, you gotta go to the devil.
That's what proves the most BaHaSham exists, the power of the nation of Israel. Because if it was not so, we would be looking stupid out here if actually groups of our people actually doing good and like own like you brought out, I know I was thinking from you, which is crazy still, man. Like as much as so-called people, as much as our people think we've come up through slavery. I mean, you brought out that slavery only owned like 1% of the country's population. Or the revenue, and now today it's only 2%. I mean, yo, man. Oh man, you know what I mean? And as much, so like, you get it, all right? I mean, I can't even wrap my head around that still. So there's been no come up, and they're keeping you in the glass ceiling not to come up, which proves BaHaSham has not got these curses on lock.
Yeah, just to back you up, like you said, the curses proves who we are. And real quick, I just found out that this is worldly, but thing about the whole thing with Jay-Z, Rockefeller, at the time you had Suge Knight. One of Suge Knight's guys came out and said that it was Jay-Z that ratted on them because they was trying to form, Suge Knight was trying to form some sort of black
it was Suge Knight, it was Dame Dash, and it was Jay Prince, I believe. They tried to create their own like label to benefit the artists.
Right.
Who snitched on it?
They did. Shut it down. They thought it was an opening predict the energy.
Yeah. You know what happened? Now, what happened to all three of them? They all.
And what happened? JC just blew up during that time in the 90s.
Of course. My bad. That's the spirit. I was gonna say that. I didn't know that. You know who else did that? Was Sam Cooke. I saw a documentary of him. Yo, this guy, he was basically, first of all, he was an uplifter. His music would move people to our people to take over. And then the thing about him, he was basically starting something where he was making Jake leave certain record labels to start their copyrights. So if his plan were to go on, yo, Jake would have been on top right now, man. I mean, owning all the music that was blowing up in the first place. So they fucking took his ass out. They took him out. And if that went through, yo, Jake, because they had plans to own the record labels and help the community. He told on one thing.
But really, ultimately, the Most High don't want him. He ain't dealing with, right? You know, the hip hop of music and all that stuff.
Because this place is just supposed to be a place of our punishment. This isn't a place for us to progress. You see?
It says, verse 4, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all the hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree.
Right, and that's going into thermonuclear missiles, the mushroom cloud, right? That instrument that's going to take away all our enemies, bring down the power structure of all nations, is going to come via those missiles. It's going to be the rescue from Yahawashi.
Wait for you, Yahawashi.